Prior to the signing of the agreement, the parties gathered at a city hotel. Hammersley's production manager, Harry Gerber, led the company's representation. State officials of the unions involved in the agreement were there, as was Don Cooley, the president of the Western Australian Trades and Labour Council. Mr. Cooley was later to tell reporters that the agreement represented a substantial breakthrough in industrial relations in this state. The previous practice of disputation leading to arbitration had here been reversed, with the Industrial Commission taking the passive role of ratification. The atmosphere here reflected the spirit of the agreement and satisfaction at a positive step forward. On behalf of Hammersley Iron, Mr. Gerber welcomed the guests.
Gentlemen, this is, of course, a rather informal occasion to formalize a significant landmark. I would like to extend a welcome to all of you to reflect for just a moment on the development of our relationship and to project to some degree on our future relationships. This is, I feel, is a culmination of a good many months of hard work, of cooperation, of understanding, and it is a significant step, I feel, in terms of our company. I feel that everything we've done has been correct. I think that it couldn't have been done unless it was correct, because there have been too many people involved in it who are honest and scrupulous people. We obviously are going to be subjected to criticism. We're going to be subjected to stress. We're going to be subjected to a real test. But I'm confident that through an extension of the cooperation, the dedication, and the responsible approach to our problems in the future, as we have in the past, with the cooperation of the state officials, the commissioner, that we will achieve the objective that we've set for ourselves. And just at this time, and before we get mixed up with other people coming in later this afternoon, I did want to express sincerely my appreciation for the contribution that everyone has made, and to pledge again our cooperation and our honest, best efforts to make this thing work. Thanks very much.
Two who played prominent roles in negotiating the agreement were Des Hanlon, the Trades and Labour Council's industrial officer, and Hammersley's Rowley Livingston. They proved here that they could agree not only on the industrial front, but also on the wine served with lunch. Though both conceded that settlement had been reached through direct negotiation, they pointed out it was not a true case of collective bargaining. Sincere discussions and a genuine approach by all concerned had certainly paid dividends in a rather spectacular fashion. For Industrial Commissioner Kelly, the luncheon must surely have been a pleasant occasion. All the decisions had been made. The Commission was left only to accept for registration the document that embodied those decisions. In fact, the situation was one Western Australian industrial law had long been intended to provoke, with the emphasis placed squarely on meaningful negotiation between those involved. And of course, those involved are in a position to know the special circumstances and conditions affecting the company's operations and the employees' working lives. The convention room was crowded with pressmen waiting for the signing ceremony. Their presence paid tribute to the agreement's importance.
Could I have your attention, please, for a moment? Could I have your attention for a moment, please? Thank you. Young lady and gentlemen, my name is Livingston, Manager of Personnel and Industrial Relations with Hammersley. I'd like to take the opportunity of welcoming you here this afternoon. And I'm now specifically speaking to the members of the press who have come along to witness the signing of an industrial agreement and a special over-award memorandum of agreement made between Hammersley and the 10 unions who are parties to the current iron ore production and processing award. All I'm here for at this stage of the proceedings is to try and make sure that we proceed in an orderly, cohesive fashion and to outline the program. Each of you have been supplied with a copy of the formal press release statement made jointly by the unions and the company. And this statement substantially sets out the detail of the terms of agreement which has been reached between us, and it gives you a little bit of background to what has gone on up to this stage. The agreement which we have entered into, and I'll just give you a very brief rundown here, is a registered industrial agreement made within the framework and under the terms of the Industrial Arbitration Act in Western Australia. It will be a registered industrial agreement, will be registered with the Commission as soon as practicable after it's been signed, and will have the force and effect of an award of the Commission. In addition to the agreement, to the registered industrial agreement, we will have a special memorandum of agreement which will contain those sort of things which are usually found in an over-award type agreement. The procedure, as I understand, if we could have your cooperation this afternoon, will be from this point on to ask our General Manager of Production, Mr. Harry Gerber, together with the various state secretaries of the unions concerned, and also Mr. Frank Wagner and Mr. Norm Everingham, who are going to act in the capacity of witnesses to some of the signatures. And Frank and Norm are down here from Dampier and participated in the negotiations to assist us today. I'd like to ask Harry, our General Manager, and those state secretaries to come forward and formally sign the documents.
The first to sign were Frank Mitchell, the State Secretary of the Australian Workers' Union, and Mr. Gerber. Two documents were negotiated between Hammersley and the 10 unions. The first was the industrial agreement, which covered matters normally contained within an industrial award, while the second was the memorandum of agreement. This encompassed subjects normally included in over-award agreements. Both were negotiated within the context of a total package deal, covering all wages and conditions at all of the company's sites. Demanding responsibilities were placed on both labour and management, but that these responsibilities were clearly accepted was emphasised in the preamble to the first document. This section expresses a mutual desire for a high degree of industrial harmony allied with a continuity of operation. Further, the fact that this agreement stands alone, unfettered by connections with any other industrial award or agreement, reinforces the confidence both parties have in it. It's not unreasonable to assume that attention to the spirit of the document will minimize, if not eliminate, individual and corporate loss through industrial stoppages.
It's my pleasure now to introduce to you again Mr. Harry Gerber, our General Manager of Production, together with Mr. Don Cooley, the President of the Trades and Labour Council of Western Australia, to give you a very brief comment on their reaction to the successful agreements which we've just negotiated. First, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Harry Gerber. Thanks, Harry.
Surely. The agreement which has been signed here today represents the culmination of several months of thought and cooperation on the part of the various trade unions in Western Australia, the Arbitration Commission, and the company. It did not happen by chance. was the concept of an agreement of this kind seemed appropriate to us, and we have persevered in reaching our objective. We feel that the acceptance of this concept and the successful negotiations that have taken place justify our faith in the agreement, our faith in each other, and our faith in our employees. We feel that this agreement will bring increased benefits and working conditions to Hammersley employees. We feel that it's a step toward greater comprehension of each other's problems, greater recognition of our mutual problems in a period of slackening economic activity. We don't know what the future holds in terms of iron ore production and sales. The world iron ore markets are seriously affected by what appears to be a worldwide recession in steel. But we're confident, by virtue of the mutual faith that's been demonstrated in reaching this agreement, that we will be successful in getting through this difficult period economically, and that, more importantly, that we will learn to live together and work together in a more meaningful way. I think while this is an industrial agreement, it represents a great step forward in human relationships, which is essential to industrial peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trades and Labour Council's role in this agreement has been one of an intermediary nature. It has been the convener on the union's behalf for the negotiations which have taken place. We feel in the Trades and Labour Council that in this particular industry that a new concept in respect to industrial relations have been ushered in. We believe, not only in the Trades and Labour Council, but in the trade union movement as a whole, that this type of industrial relations is the only way in which we can expect to obtain good industrial relations. We feel that agreements of this nature can only be of benefit, not only to the people who produce the goods, but also to the people who are employed in the production of these products. We do sincerely believe that the agreement has been signed in good faith on all parties, and at the expiration of it, you will find that it has been not only to benefit to the iron ore company, but also to our unions in itself. We do, from a trade union point of view, welcome these sort of negotiations, and we wish it every success.
Thanks very much. Well, I guess now, as we stated before, that if the press have any particular questions to ask, I don't know whether you're doing the answering from the union's point of view, Don, or whether Des Hanlon is. I think Des Hanlon, the industrial officer for the Trades and Labour Council, has kindly offered to present himself to see if he can assist you in answering any queries that you might have. And for my part, on behalf of the company, I'll try my best.
Mr. Hanlon, do you believe that this sort of agreement can be negotiated as successfully in other areas of the state?
Well, it depends whether well, I think the union movement has shown that it will negotiate at any time with anybody, and it's successfully negotiated with Hammersley Iron. If any other party wants to engage in negotiating an agreement for its company, well, we'll negotiate with it.
Yeah.
If we can get the same honesty from any other company, well, they'll get the same honesty from us.